Okay, welcome to the Kid Philly show. This is going to be nice and basic. This is the first show of hopefully many that I'm going to keep things nice and light. I'm going to highlight a little bit of national news that I think might be important. Of course, it's not going to be everything because it's a quick blip. And also some local stuff to my area and to local Philadelphia. And then go over some of the things that the Kid Philly organization is doing and bringing some things to light and good things that we can think about and move forward. So that being said, we're just going to jump right in. And we're going to talk a little bit about what went on in February 2013. So one of the big things that we'll talk about is the State of Union address from the President. And I'm going to be right in the middle. I'm going to say there's some thumbs up, some thumbs down that I'm looking at. Thumbs up, he did talk a little emotionally about some of the things some of the kids went through up north with, of course, the school shootings and things we need to do as a country as gun control. Whether you agree with the measures taken or not, the fact is we all have to step up, not just as citizens, but the people that we elect, and they need to make a vote on what the direction is. They need to come together, get in a room, talk about it, and at least those people that have suffered deserve a vote to truly understand what direction this country is supposed to go in. Like I said, no matter which side you're on, the people do deserve the respect for at least a vote, and that's one thing he says, so I'll give him a thumbs up on that. Thumbs down, of course, I give to the President on all these different programs and where all in the world this money is coming from and how in the world we're going to pay for all these programs and things that he wants to do. Our debt is getting out of control, and I know me personally, if I have a credit card and I run up to its limit, I can't just extend that limit and just keep charging. At some point, we have to pay for what we are trying to do, and hopefully the administration that incurs that debt will also take care of that. So getting some solid answers on where we're going to pay for all this stuff, I give a thumbs down because, I don't know, we just don't really get anything too solid yet. So, well, we'll deal with that. That being said, local Philadelphia. I actually talked directly with a man, Brett Mendel. He's going to be running for city controller of Philadelphia. I've actually sat and talked with him personally, and he likes to share his ideas, real basic, of keeping open books for the Philadelphia budget and being able to be the checks and balances, be the watchdog for our budget in Philadelphia, which is a good thing. I think the more transparent we are, the more we can see what decisions are being made and what direction we're going in and how we're going to pay for things, as I just explained from the State of the Union address from our President. So just throwing that out there, City Controller Brett Mendel. I go and read up on his stuff. He is very open. He has his own website, so you can just look him up and hear what he's got to say. I think at the very least that'd be good. Quick weather. I'm not a weatherman, but it looks like an early spring. I mean, as I'm talking right now, next week we're supposed to get in the high 50s. That's pretty cool, and it's March. So look to some cool things that we'll get into, but I'll blur the lines a little bit. Look to start planting your gardens a little early, and look to maybe having your early spring, as Punxsutawney Phil kind of predicted, I believe, and start off a warm spring into summer, which would be pretty good. And off to sports. Okay, on to Philadelphia sports. First up is the Flyers. Flyers right now hanging around 500. Question is, are they going to start gelling together on a shortened NHL season and start climbing the charts? Are they going to sneak into the playoffs, be one of the late seeds, and then climb their way, kind of like what they did last year, a few years ago, and start shocking some people and playing good? Either they can blow out Team 7-0 and come back and beat the Penguins, or they can lose to the Florida Panthers. So, whatever. During February, though, you got to see Ty McGinn and Zach Rinaldo throwing down, and you definitely know that they're not giving up. So, at the very least, Flyers are representing a little better than some of our other teams, which brings us to the Sixers. Oh gosh, the Sixers are horrible right now. They pretty much are losing everybody. I think I can probably assemble a team, including my wife and my daughter, that could beat them. Just kidding, kinda. But, you know, Holiday, you're looking good, but, you know, everybody's trying to fight, but it's just not happening. We're pretty much losing every game that we play. And Bynum, at the beginning, all of us as Sixer fans looks like we're kind of excited to an extent, getting a legit center, and hasn't played a game for us, and doesn't look like he's going to be playing for us at all this year, if at all. Two questions I got for you. Do you want the Sixers to sign him? Do you think he has any kind of potential in the future? I already know my answer. And then, okay, I want you to finish this. Andrew Bynum is not the biggest bust in Philadelphia sports history for free agents, because this person, blank, is the biggest bust in Philadelphia free agent sports history. Right now, I got Bynum at number 1. I don't know. See if you can beat me. I'd like to hear your comments. On to the Phillies. The Phillies are down in Florida, of course. I think they're in like the Grapefruit League or something. People are starting looking pretty good. You know, our pitchers are looking pretty good. Looks like we're hitting all right. And it looks like we're already going to have a little bit of bad blood against the Washington Nationals. Of course, last year they took our division. Our division. You like that? Took our division and ended our streak of 5 straight in a row. Now, was that a hiccup from the Phillies, or is that something that we're going to see more of Washington and another team like Atlanta coming up, and this is the end of our reign? Hopefully not, and hopefully we have another parade, because, I don't know, I like being on Broad Street in red, rather it being green, but I'll take both. But we'll see what comes out of that. But I think the Phillies are in line to, you know, make another push for another pennant and hopefully another parade. Which brings us to the parade that I definitely want to see, but who knows how long it is away from it. My Philadelphia Eagles. A lot of changes. Chip Kelly coming in. They knocked down Vic's contract and see if he fits in. You got some competition with Foles, where you know you're bringing in Dixon and you're bringing in these other quarterbacks. Who knows what we're going to draft? We're getting rid of people on the defensive line. Colin Jenkins is out. Patterson's out. What in the world are we going to do with Osawa? I hope we get rid of him along with Cromartie, start drafting people. Do you think we're going to go heavy in free agency? Who knows? Like, you read the boards, you read PhiladelphiaEagles.com, nobody knows. So we're just going to wait a little bit and see what comes out of that. But it is exciting. I mean, last time we switched coaches, I was in high school, and that was a long time ago. So we'll see what comes out of that. Now, on another sports note, two different events, 3 different players that I think you should be aware of, because if I know, like you don't know, Ty McGinn and Zach Ronaldo on the 22nd of March are going to be at, on the 22nd of March, are going to be at a place called 1919 Bar and Grill over here in Havertown from about 7 o'clock at night to 8:30. So I'll be posting that. I mean, this is one of the flyers. I'll post that up so you can see it. And Bryce Brown of the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, he ran pretty good. He fumbled a little bit. Whatever. He's going to be at 1919 Bar and Grill as well for a draft party. So keep your ears open to when that date's going to come out, because that should be pretty cool too. And get some stuff signed. And, you know, this guy might be a rising star. It might help us do something great, and I hope so. So come on out. Support your Philadelphia teams. And let's just hope for the best. And that's your Philly sports. And that was sports, Philadelphia sports. A little grim right now, but we'll get through it. It's not like we're not used to that. Kid Philly organizational news. Something a little bit right outside of Philadelphia, some positive things to think about. First up is Eagle Crest. It's a pediatrics dental place over in Havertown, PA. And on the 28th of March, they're going to be hosting something where they're going to allow for kids that normally can't afford dental insurance, whatever, to be able to come in and get cleanings and exercise for free. So that's definitely a positive thing. They're helping kids smile. I mean, you get it. So they're helping kids smile, and that's a really important thing, though. That's not just a joke. That's people freely giving up their time. The staff is freely giving up their time to help kids smile and for their dental health to be good. So that's a really good positive thing. It's a free thing. So look into that, Eagle Crest, and hopefully we'll make a video on more specifics and even the office. Very great people there. I met them myself, and I definitely would support that. Next up too is I've got wind of, if you know, all you animal lovers, dogs and cats, and the SPCA vets vaccinations things on the 12th of March at a place called Nehemiah's. Well, I went there for my landscaping needs, which we'll get to in a second, and they informed me that they're opening up their place to be able to treat animals at a ridiculously reduced cost. Normally pet vaccinations get pretty expensive, but they're going to offer something at like pretty much like a third of the cost, half or a third of the cost or whatever at their store. And the SPCA is going to come there and going to be sponsoring that event. So that's just something to look into for you animal lovers. If you are having a hard time keeping up with vaccinations, some things with your animals because it's getting pretty expensive, well, this is an avenue that you can take in order to save money and look out for the health of your pets as well. For Philadelphia Kid Philly Education, this year we're going to continue doing our history videos. Of course, you'll see a small clip on the history video that I made before on the Commodore Barry. I'm looking to increase those videos, at least do a couple more. It was fun making that video, and I think it's time to make more because it's part of the idea that I have for education, not just for Philadelphia and the surrounding areas, but it's something that we can have spread to the country. And I will expand on that later in another time. As you know, I'll go to different areas and teach schools math and science, especially nuclear power, something that I have a good amount of experience doing, especially doing it in the Navy. And I'm going to give a small shout out to Academy Park, one of the first schools that I went to do that, and they've really encouraged me as much as hopefully I encourage them for us to learn more about our surrounding, in this case, our power supply, but we can do that with everything else, and then share that knowledge with other people and allow for them to take the information that they learned and run with it even further. And hopefully that's what they're doing. So that's my quick shout out to Academy Park. Whoop, whoop. Right, there you go. And like I said, future videos, my idea on different way I think schools could teach to have our kids be more competitive in the world, education, whatever. Kid Philly Project. Kid Philly Project, of course, is all about work. All right. Now, I was telling you before in weather that it looks like we're going to have an early spring and things are going to start getting warmer, which means we're going to have some landscaping that's going to start occurring. Actually, my landscaping season already kind of started. I was pulling out stumps with the big truck, and hopefully I'll be able to give you some videos on that. And start cutting up some trees and things like that. It's time to get our hands a little dirty, get into the dirt, and employ ourselves as part of it, or feed ourselves with programs like Phil Abundance, whatever. Start planting outside, getting outside, and getting back to nature, and getting to work. So I'll give you more information, and we'll try to pick up maybe a plan of the week or the month and learn about it. Because the more you learn about plants and outside, it seems like it could be easy. It's a lot more than you think. So you have a lot more respect of your surrounding areas when you learn more too. And in Philadelphia, Kid Philly Comedy. Kid Philly Comedy is going to be kicking off its first comedy show, hosted, run by me, hosted at 1919 Bar and Grill on the 11th of May. This is going to be a Mother's Day clean comedy kickoff, and we're going to be signing on some local area comedians that have actually done pretty well. One of them definitely going to be Pat Barker and Doogie Horner, and we're going to be signing some other ones too to have a great time. And that's going to be kicking off the Kid Philly Comedy. And we're also going to be looking at restaurants in the Philadelphia area. Kid Philly Comedy is more like the arts, so food goes along with it, comedy, poetry, music is all part of it. So we're going to be highlighting some Philadelphia restaurants, and one of them, I'm going to initially just say, the wife and I, we went to a place called Sabraga. It's a little bit south of the Kimmel Center, a couple doors down from there, and we got the chef's table, and you know what, we had a really great time. It's a little expensive, but it's Center City, but it was a great time. We had great food. We interacted with the chefs that were there and had a great time. And talked directly with Kevin Sabraga, and he was just a true, genuine person right there. So if you're going down in Philadelphia, I'll give you more specifics on our meal to give you an idea of what kind of stuff they serve there. I would recommend going to Sabraga's if you were looking for a good time. And last but not least, the reason why we all bring this together is our belief in the big guy upstairs, where we do this not just for ourselves, but we want to help encourage each other to, put it bluntly, get to heaven together and enjoy this life and do the best that we can. So anything is possible, even out of something like this done in a basement. Which brings me to the verse of this video, which be Luke 1:37, which nothing is impossible with God. You got God there, and God can do anything. He can move through a video camera in a basement and one crazy guy running down Broad Street. He can do that, and then he can link people together, and he can do great things. You just got to give him a shot. You got to trust him, believe in him, and then run with it and give it all you got. So that is what we have for today, for the first ever Kid Philly show. And I know it's a little cheesy, I know it wasn't too extravagant, but oh well, we got to start somewhere and we got to move forward. So thanks for viewing in, and I'm looking forward to your comments. If you have any input or anything you'd like to see, or anything you just even want to encourage me as well, feel free to mail me. I'll put it down here, but mailbox@kidphilly.com, and let's start making a change together. Thanks, and have a great night. Oh, and how can I forget? On that note, you know, we'll close out with something of like Kid Philly comedy of the arts, and we'll close out with the playing of the national anthem that I'll do on my piano. I hope you enjoy. Good night, and God bless.